Welcome, everybody, to Wired for Health, Wealth, Success. I'm your host, Thomas Nerbass, and I'm here with a special guest, Ralph Michael. Thanks for coming aboard today, Ralph. It's so good to have you here, and I'm so excited to interview you and just share with the audience about your fantastic book, Unstuck, Turn Your Life into a Masterpiece. You're author of 3 books, so you're working on your 4th book.
Right.
And both a life and health coach, and you're very passionate about helping people and create the life that they love. I would like to also share with the audience some of your history, some of the lows, some of the highs, and also just some more information about your background so that the audience can relate with you, Ralph.
Okay. Well, first of all, Thomas, what I would say is I'm not a guru or an expert on anybody's life. The person listening is an expert on their life. They know their life better than anybody else, but I know my life.
Right.
And I know when I wrote Unstuck, I looked at over 25, 30 mega successful people in all aspects of the life. They weren't, they were not doing well in one area and bankrupt in the other areas. They had good balance and they were very successful. So I looked at some of their best practices. I looked at the common denominators, and I put that all together in Unstuck, basically to help people get to an improved quality of life. Up to the age of 41, which is quite a few years back,
Right.
I would have, if somebody said, your quality of life overall, if you were to say, put it on a scale from 1 to 10, I would have said my quality of life overall in all categories is between an 8 and a 9.
Okay.
So fairly high. And then at age 41, the wheels fell off the bus. I had been downsized. My wife of 20 years passed away. I raised 3 kids by myself. And in a short period of time, more loved ones had passed away. So I would say, Thomas, that for about 20 years, actually, from age 41, for 20 years, I was in a downward spiral, in a rut.
Mm-hmm.
But 5 years ago, I took a short trip to Quebec, and in a very short time, had 2 or 3 aha moments. And out of that trip, and there was, for example, a person died in my arms, a trucker just on a Yellowhead when I came back. And I just determined that health had to be number 1 priority for me, because of all these different things that happened in a short period of time. And I became a health coach,
Mm-hmm.
and I wrote 2 books on health. And I started doing some coaching one-on-one with people about health. And I loved it. I actually changed about 75 of my habits.
Mm-hmm.
Any bad ones I got rid of, and I replaced them with good ones. So that was key. And 2 years ago, I had another great aha moment. And 2 years ago, I heard an interview about an hour long. I think you can find it on YouTube. But it was with the CEO of Mind Valley, which is an online educational community, Mind Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And it's with a multi-billionaire called John Butcher, Jon Butcher.
Okay.
And when I listened to that interview, I can literally tell you, I came awful close to falling off of my computer chair because it moved me that much.
Yeah, incredible.
And John had said, him and his wife Missy, they're Americans out of Chicago, and they had a beautiful life together. But they said, how would you like, John said to his wife Missy, how would you like your life to be a 9, probably a 10 out of 10 in all areas of all major categories of life?
Mm-hmm.
And his wife said, that's what I want. So they took a look at life, and they broke it down into 11 different major categories. And they pretty well have achieved that. And then they called their project Lifebook.
Okay, cool.
Right? Lifebook. So I took a 30-day challenge with John. I took his course. about what he did. And then I went further than that. I said, okay, that's a great story, and how he got his quality of life right up there. Now, John works out of his house. He's got over 32 companies, and he works from home. His kids don't even go to school. It was a remarkable story. Mm-hmm. But I went on to say, I'm also going to study some other super successful people. So I went on to about another 20, 25. Brendan Bouchard, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, Oprah, Jack Canfield. And I said, what do they all do in common? What are some of their habits? What are some of their best practices? And that's where I learned. And in my book, Unstuck, I'll tell you more a little bit later, I identify a 10-step process that if you follow, you will have a super extraordinary life. And I call that really your personal success formula. Right. 10 steps. And then I subsequently became a health coach. And now I'm writing, like you said, I wrote Unstuck, Turn Your Life into a Masterpiece. And the next project I'm currently working on, about halfway done, is writing a book called Thrive. Because ultimately, these mega successful people are all thriving. And I call it actually the 3% club, right? Like when you look at most of the population, maybe 20% are barely surviving. Mm-hmm. 60% are going through the motions, are mostly on autopilot, but they're not really thriving. And maybe another 20% are thriving at times or in different areas. But 3% is where you want to go. That's where you want to thrive.
Right.
And so this personal success formula in Unstuck will help you get there.
So here, I've noticed you've studied and researched with many mega successful people. And what are some conclusions that you've reached that they do differently than the status quo?
Well, one thing, they don't live life by default. They design, they plan. All of them that I haven't come across one that has not written down, a 3, 4, 5 year projection. I called it life planning. Life planning. And you know what's funny, Thomas, is that most of us, that either have a business or we're in business, we're used to writing plans, marketing plans, business plans, financial plans, exactly, and having goals.
Absolutely.
Right? Now I'm saying, let me ask you a question. Would you take an airplane ride, a boat ride, or even a taxi ride if you didn't know where it was going?
No.
Well, then why? Something more important is your life.
Right, exactly.
Right? Having an endpoint. Right. And designing your life there. So all these mega successful have endpoints. They all had great goals. They can be what we call SMART goals, where they're specific, measurable with the time frame. But I also found a key one is great habits, because the habits are really maybe your autopilot. They become automatic behaviors. Mm-hmm. So it was just a combination of writing it down, reviewing it maybe quarterly, maybe annually, for the rest of your life. And you would have a master plan that you could reach your goals very quickly if you took some inspired action every day. That's the other thing mega successful people do, even if it's baby steps, taking some inspired action every day towards where they want to go.
What areas do you as a life coach help people with?
Well, I basically help people finding more contentment in their life, finding more happiness, but primarily I help them in 6 areas. One is I help them achieve their personal goals. I help them find more happiness. Now that happiness could be family life, could be relationships, it could be their career. I help them discover their life purpose, which is very, very important to find. What are you passionate about? How can you contribute to the community and to the world per se? Also found that how to get healthier, right? Whether it's weight or eating well, health is foundational. Then also improving relationships, whether it be love relationship or family relationship or just with friends. The other one is discovering spirituality, but it's really not me dictating to the person that is interested in improving their life. They are to tell me 1 or 2 areas or 3 areas that they would like to improve. And then together we'll make a plan to achieve that. So they pick the area, and I'm not only just their coach, I am their guide, I am their motivator, I am their strategist, I am their accountability partner. They can do it alone. If you read Unstuck, you could do it alone. But some people need a helping hand, at least in the beginning, to set them off in the right direction. And not picking 10 areas, pick, say, 1 or 2 areas first that would have the most impact on your life. You work on those, then you can add to it.
Right on. So in your book, Unstuck, Turn Your Life into a Masterpiece, can you share with the audience a couple key insights from this new book? A couple key insights.
Well, one key that sort of surprised me when I looked at all these mega successful people was something called your core values, or your values. We all speak about values when you're with a large company. Sometimes you see it. These are our core values, or here's our mission statement.
Right on.
So I'm saying that most people might know some of them, but you should thoroughly think about this, reflect on it, and come up with your top 10 values. If you can identify those, that is a foundation that you can base all future action on, all future decisions on knowing that. And it's not carved in stone. As you get older, your values may change somewhat, And I strongly suggest in Unstuck is, yes, write down your vision, write down your different categories of life, and try to really feel what would be an ideal scenario. Where are you now? Where would you like to go? And there's going to be a gap. Right? That gap you can close by identifying goals and habits and action to close that gap. So that's primarily what I would say. But once you know your core values, that becomes your GPS, and that's going to steer the boat. So I always often say, are you the master of your ship, or are you just on for the ride, or kind of a thing, right?
Right.
There's going to be obstacles in life, and you can steer around them and continue on your journey, but you know where you're going, right? But so many of us, like I say, if you don't have a plan, what's going to happen to a boat, for example, if you don't steer it? It's going to either get shipwrecked or it's going down, right? It has to have a captain, and we are all captains of our lives. If you make this, the first step is making the decision, I'm not that happy with my life, and I want to improve it.
Right.
Hey guys, I'm just going to show you how to make your first order on the website of the person who got you here. In the top address bar, not the Google search bar, type in their address. Double check the person's name is at the top of the page. Click on Order Now. Choose your membership. You can either be a customer, a preferred customer, or for a $20 lifetime membership fee, you can become an independent representative in Volantis and collect commissions on everything that people order through your website, just as I am doing right now. Okay, cool. So next is put in your personal information, create a username and password, your shipping and billing info, and now you choose your pack. Choose 1, 3, 6, 16, or 36 boxes. Now let them of product, and you just click the little drop downs to make that happen. Now let the magic begin. That was easy.
So tell me your why.
Well, my why for coaching and my why for writing these books on Unstuck, and that is, well, first of all, I don't want to say I'm selfish, but I wanted to improve my own life and learn from the best. And then I started applying it, and that's when I discovered that this is my life's purpose. I said, I love writing, I love researching, I love coaching. And I said, that's my passion. I was a health coach, now I'm a life coach. And I said, I got something really important to improve the quality of a person's life, right?
Right on.
Really important. So I thought, I got to put it in a book. I've got to talk about it. So my goal down the road is I'm going to what they call a laptop lifestyle, where I could be anywhere in the world with a laptop, working just for 2-3 hours a day, and coaching people one-on-one or small group coaching or writing a book. And if I choose not to work on a Saturday, Sunday, so be it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Teamwork accomplishes.
Right.
It's like we all win together as a team.
Right.
So one of the things that I'd like just to share with the audience is the importance of this one hand washes the other. What you do for another, you're doing for yourself. There's reciprocity. So what you give is what you receive. It's like a natural law. I always like sharing that. And so the gift is in the giving. And I see your book Unstuck. The gift is in the giving.
Right.
You'll be able to help out everyone who is open to taking a look at your book, reading your book, finding you online, and doing coaching with you. I'm really excited for you.
Yeah. And one of the things I was just going to add, though, Thomas, to what you say, is that think of me basically more than a personal trainer. I can get you to where you want to go faster, better, more efficient. And I'm saying don't wait for the perfect time. Oh, maybe, by the time January comes or next year. I mean, this is a start of a new decade in less than 2 months. A new decade, not only a new year.
Right.
I can save you months and years of not going around in a circle or getting into a rut, because I've done the research. I have it all available for you. I'm going to save you years of spinning your wheels. Right. You can get unstuck as anytime you want.
Absolutely. So bottom line, Ralph, share with the audience the true importance of working with a life coach, besides what you were just sharing there. So you'll get to your destination faster without all of the complications, without the delays.
Right.
It'll speed you up.
Yeah. See, one thing that I do, Thomas, is, for example, I say, I am not a therapist. I am not going to be digging in your past. Yes, if you came to me, Thomas, I would say, okay, in 20 minutes or less, give me a synopsis of your life till now.
Right.
So I kind of draw an imaginary line and say, where are you today and where would you like to go? Right. So we're focusing, on today and tomorrow. Right? That saves a lot of time right there.
Right.
And so, yeah, you might have some limiting beliefs. You might say, I'm too old, I'm not worthy, I'm not rich enough, I'm not smart enough. Those are called roadblocks or obstacles. We deal with them as we go along on this journey together, right? And I can coach you around those obstacles. You can foresee some of those obstacles. But again, writing down goals, whether they're quarterly, annually, a great time that I often suggest people, with New Year's coming up, why not, instead of waiting for New Year's and writing down or not writing down some of your goals, why not have this plan in place for your life for the next 3, 4, 5 years? And every 1 or 2 days before New Year's, take an hour, take 2 hours, get away from the home, and just review your goals with your partner, if you have a partner, and say, this is where I'm going next year. Honey, what's your plan? And obviously, you don't want to go, you want to go in the same direction.
Absolutely.
So there might be some compromises, right? And you can review your goals quarterly if you wish, with the other person or by yourself. And it's just a matter then of adjust and tweak. But keep doing those baby steps, keep moving forward.
Together we win. It's about the teamwork, going in the same direction.
Yep.
You can't have one person going south and one going north. It doesn't work. That
right.
would create like a neutral position, right?
Yeah.
So everybody's got to be moving in the same direction.
And one thing, Thomas, you should know that I typically coach, like say, one-on-one or small group with Zoom video. So you are in the comfort of your home. You don't have to. I'm in St. Albert, Alberta, Canada, right? You don't have to come to see me. What we do is we'll get on, let's say, a weekly Zoom for an hour. You could be in your pajamas. I don't care. And we talk about your goals and your steps. And, like I said, I am the motivator. I'm your guidance person. Then we strategize together. And we also, I'm just, looking at accountability. You say you're going to do something. This is an action-oriented coaching.
Right.
It's not just talk.
Right.
And it helps you get to where you want to go faster.
Right on. Can you touch base a little bit on that? So accountability and having someone to work with that way. Like, are there statistics that show that if someone makes a pact, that they're going to be more committed to accomplishing the action, the task?
Well, basically, I don't have any stats on the top of my head. I can get some, but all I know is when you write it down, then it becomes not a wish. It becomes, and then you have goals and landmark milestones, and you agree to doing something. I know in between sessions, I'm doing something. I've got a lot of resources and tools available, and I'm researching and I'm helping. But if you say, for example, you're going to walk 10 minutes a day. You want to get, say, for example, you want to get healthier. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, can you walk 10 minutes a day? Can you commit to 10 minutes a day? So one of the things on the first section, I'm going to say, were you able, out of the 7 days, were you able to walk 10 minutes on the majority of those days? Right. That's accountability. Then, what's the minimum? And then we can tweak different things and add different things, and then it's going to be healthy eating. Can you, for example, can you commit to eating 60-40 healthy, mm-hmm. then 70, then 80%? I'm never going to say I'm not 100%, right?
Right.
And so you could tweak, but again, did that person say my biggest area of improvement, let's say for the next 6 months, is health and well-being? That's when we focus on. If you say you want to find your life's purpose, then we'll look at that and look at what your ideal is and then put the structure in place. But you follow the process set out, the 10 steps in UNSTUCK. And we go through that together.
Right on.
Right? So it may only be the person needs coaching for 3 months, maybe 6 months. Some people don't need coaching, right? And it's really basically, I'm your helping hand. I will pull you out of the rut or the hole that you're in, and we go from there.
Right on. Here we go. In closing, Ralph, what is the best way for the audience to connect with you?
Well, Facebook. I'm on Facebook, so you could message me there. I have now set up a YouTube channel, and on the bottom of the screen, you can email me at rgerndt@gmail.com.
Excellent. Okay. So for everyone interested in Ralph's services and Ralph's books, please check that out. Send him an email. He's here to help. One hand washes the other. I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and have a fantastic day, everyone. All the best, health, wealth, success. Take care, everyone.
And just in conclusion, it's Ralph Michael, the coach, the life coach that gets people unstuck. Talk to you soon.
Perfect.